Morning, folks. This is Bruce Smith from wealthcurated.com. This is my daily prep. Today, we're looking at assets, alternative assets, what's happening in the markets overall. Big news today, of course, is again, big drops as much as 12% in the crypto spaces, things like Bitcoin, Ethereum. They've come up a little bit, but last several months, of course, overall from their highs, down 40%. So what's happening? What are the big questions as that's happening in the world of collectible assets, alternative assets? Things are going the opposite direction, breaking records week after week. Many private treaty sales, public sales, auction sales, et cetera, are beating estimates by tenfold. I've had a hunch about this since the beginning of COVID. My hunch was, and I've written a lot about this, spoken a lot about it, is that if we saw a lot of prolonged dark period of shutdown, lockdown, and all the stuff we've lived through, early on, I thought people would be searching out beauty, however they had the means to. And that is certainly what's happening as we've locked up the world. The world has gone on a search for beauty across the collectibles categories. Everything from art to rare coins, comics, cars, stamps even, which have been dead for decades, doing quite well. Watches, of course, which we talked about just a few days ago. So in the middle of all that, what has happened is this new awakening to tangible assets, alternative means of assets, more than just digits on a page. I don't think that's ever going away from here. And of course, as the world speeds up, we're seeing more and more options in terms of investing. We're going to talk a little bit about that over the next couple of minutes. NFTs, metaverse, et cetera, crypto. What do we do with crypto? Now becomes the question. And of course, I think what we're seeing right now in the middle of all of the inflation discussion, what's happening at the Fed, Treasury increases, so forth, I think we're trying to figure out, can crypto actually perform as a hedge, which many of its most ardent evangelists have always said it's one of the things that makes it so uniquely special. That hasn't been proven as yet. Time will tell, though we're off 40% from the highs. Maybe we find a bottom here in this crisis in a sense, and then we see a major run up to those numbers that the most ardent and those most affectionate about crypto claim: 100,000, 200,000, some say 500,000, some say beyond. Time will tell. What is true is blockchain technology is not going away. That's here to stay. That is the future. The big threat to how far this goes, and the thing that has yet to be proven, aside from can cryptos function as a hedge, is the competition to fiat currency. Will the economic powers of the world allow this threat to fiat currency? And there's varying discussions on this. I've often said, in the history of the world, governments have always controlled money. They're not going to stop doing that now in light of technology. The other side of that coin, pun intended, is that it has gotten too big too quickly. And it's a massive pool of money that governments can now tax. As it stands now, about $1 trillion of profitable money that can be taxed, and that's a pool that goes into the federal tank. So if they can tax it, they're not taking it away, is one theory. So we will see. So where do we go? What do we do with that part of our focus if we're going to go there? The infrastructure is going to be an important part of profitability for those who want to get engaged. Things like the Lightning Network. It comes down to use architecture. The apparatuses that are building around the crypto, the blockchain space, so that use can be immediate. In some cases now, what makes it difficult is that these transactions can take 10, 12, 13 minutes. That's not practical in the daily life of human beings, and for millions around the world who don't have banking or may not want banking. And so infrastructure use is going to be important. Things like the Lightning Network, which transforms that 10, 12 minutes down to a few seconds. That's a place to look. But I would make the case that mining, if you want to be involved, is a place that everyone has to consider, especially if you have significant resources. You can do your own mining, which is a surprising revelation to a lot of people. because it seems like it would be this fantastically complicated task that you need tech gurus and staffs to handle. But actually, that's not true. We're involved with something that we're about to tell you more about in the days ahead, helping you put together your own mining apparatus. Not as complicated as you think, and you're actually printing money in a sense in this new world of money. So we'll talk more about that down the road. Foundationally, the things we have to be looking at in the world of assets, alternative assets, and all assets is the fundamentals. So alternative assets fundamentally are rarity based, they're passion based, and as such, they're competed for fiercely. That's never going away. People who have money to chase those things are always going to chase them. Good markets, bad markets, stagnant markets. That's what makes alternative assets, especially at the top end, very attractive for savvy investors. Also, it's tangible. You can have it in your hands. I call them live with investments, whether it's art, rare coins. Gold is still a foundational requirement in the world in which we live. It's the only proven from beginning to end for a couple thousand years investment that does perform in crises. And so if the world falls apart again in the worst kinds of ways, gold's going to play a crucial role. And perhaps blockchain technology and crypto, that remains to be seen, of course. So look at gold, look at blockchain mining, BTC, stay with the big ones, BTC and Ethereum. That's where you're going to see the most lasting sector develop, and things are going to revolve around those bigs, as we call them, use infrastructure, and the alternative asset space. Of course, you want to be looking not just to rarity and beauty, of course, pedigree, but also toward innovation. Now we're seeing every day talk about NFTs, the metaverse. Innovation is going to be an important part of any wealth creation paradigm for anyone that wants to succeed in the days ahead. So that's where we're focusing. You'll hear more from us, where our aim is to include a number of things under one umbrella and perhaps present the most compelling and diverse architecture for assets and acquisition, as well as trading, that you're going to see. Everything from gold, art, rare autos, mining, and many other things to come. That's Daily Prep from wealthcurated.com. Have a great weekend. We will see you on the other side.